Welcome to the Success Journey Show. Let's travel together through the lives of individuals on the road to success.
Yo, what's going on, travelers all around the world? Welcome again to another episode of the Success Journey Show. You know what's so funny?
I was about to play the Jester music.
Yeah, right? My boys, man, they always get on me. So today, we're all sitting down at the dinner table, man. That's one thing I appreciate about my family, man. It's like we always try to have dinner together. If we don't have any meal together, we always have dinner together. And just the laughter, the loudness, everything, everyone's characteristics is there. The joke, people cracking jokes on each other. It's just beautiful, man. And my youngest son was like, Daddy, man, you're famous. I was like, what? What are you talking about, man? Yeah, and guess what? They already have it updated that you work at Hartman Executive Advisors. I was like, what are you talking about, man? He said, online, man. I looked you up. I told my friends to look you up too, man. You're famous. You're famous, man. And he turned to his brother and was like, yo, you guys are a little famous too. There's a picture of you up there as well. When I typed the name in, there's a picture up there. So you guys have a little fame. So I'd be cracking up every time I do this intro. I know they can hear me in their room. They're all up right now, especially summertime. They're still up. They're just hanging out. And that's the first thing I thought when they heard me saying the intro to this show, man. You never know what your kids are looking at, man. It is just it's just fun being a parent and just watching them grow, man. It is so fun growing to themselves. Yeah. So it's
you gotta interview them one day. You gotta sit down all of them and interview them and see what their thought process is on what we're doing and how it's affecting them in terms of the choices. This is
yeah. We'll interview them one day. I don't know how much I'll get out of them this time. They probably get on camera and start
being shy.
Yeah. My oldest one try to act serious, have a deep voice. Like like, so what I'm trying to, I'm like, all right, man. All right. But yeah, dude, I'm at the age of puberty is kicking in. It's just fun. Fun time, boys in the house. Fun times, man. We out there doing 3-point competitions and shooting. I'm like, oh shoot. Man, you guys are keeping up with me in a 3-point competition now. This is my oldest son bodied me. I was like, oh man, I felt that a little bit. Driving to the rim. I was like, let me go put my shoes on. Let me go put my shoes on, man.
That's like LeBron James. You saw that workout he was doing with his kids?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. That's the joy, man. That's the joy. All the work that he's done over his career. This guy's only 38, 37. Just meditate on that. 37 years old, man. Joker's a billionaire at 37, killing in basketball.
Yep.
Now his sons are on a stage where they can enjoy basketball as well.
Yep. That's crazy. And to know that, and a funny thing too, and not that Bronny's not nice, but Bryce, nobody really put him on a map. And then this kid just shot up and just like, they're like,
yeah. Whoa.
But I see what Bronny, I see a lot of people don't see I see what I see in Bronny's that where before when he was just playing basketball. Now he actually is understanding basketball. And when I watch a player, I know I'm not no elite coach or any scout or anything like that, but when I watch a player.
Hey, your son did win it in the national championship. AAU championship. So
I'm his trainer.
Yeah.
but
you're valid,
and you know what happened while we're talking on one of these ones, we're gonna put up that clip of him doing his little MJ.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, keep talking. I may be able to pull it up just in time.
Yeah. So you would think that you when I'm watching a player and a player understands basketball, like when you watch Kyrie dribble. Kyrie understands what he has to do, where he has to put the ball. So you see a lot of people trying to mimic it, but they don't understand exactly what he's what he's doing.
What he's doing,
and his thought process.
Yeah,
his thought process is what he has to do. If you shift this way, I know I got you. If you shift that way, I know I got you. And same can be with society. You sent me that thing, and it's so funny that you can tell when somebody's growing in terms of when their business acumen, because somebody would be like, well, I got 3,000 followers. But do you have the 3,000 supporters?
Yeah.
See, followers and supporters are not the same thing, you know. Sure. And hey, Kev on stage, if you see this, yeah, we took that from you. Supporters and followers are not the same thing, because if you have, I watch people that have 50,000 followers, and when they put out a video or they put out something, they only have 150 people that really like what they say. You know what I'm saying? So do you have supporters or do you have followers?
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing. So, you know, same thing with basketball, same thing can be true to business acumen. When I sit down and I start talking to somebody, you start understanding when business start clicking, when they start thinking differently, they're thinking about legacy, they're thinking about, you know, because it's funny, because back in the day, if you told somebody like, you would think $130,000 is not enough at a job for you, they'd be like, what are you talking about? But right now you're at the point where you're like, 130,000, like my kids can't survive. I can't set a legacy making 130,000 only. I could use that as a vehicle to gain whatever, but you cannot say, hey, I have 130,000, my kids are gonna live forever good just by me working a job. Oh, I could do a little thing through this. So if you want to
all right, here we go.
Yep. So that's my son right there. He's coming down. So if you're seeing it, what's happening is he comes down, and I asked him what's the thought process in this, right? And this is how I understand that he's coming down, and when he's coming down, this kid is coming. He just stole the ball, and he's coming down. This kid is gonna, if you watch, he jumps and he puts his hand on his shoulder. So watch when he jumps. He put his hand on Rashad's shoulder, and Rashad said he knew he wasn't gonna get high enough, so he had to do this move. I was like, what? And he turned around, and you watch when he looks up. It's not a throw up, it's, I know I had to do this. Boom. The whole place went berserk.
And then you got this guy.
Look at me. How's that? Yeah. Going crazy out here. Look at me.
Look at it. He wanted to get on the court and give him a pound. That's what he wanted to do.
Yeah, boy, I wanted to. But
all right, we're gonna watch it full motion one more time. There we go.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, man. But the thought process that he had, and I said, why did you do the move? Why do you think you had to do that? You could have went straight up. He was like, no, the guy jumped, he pressed on my shoulder, and when I saw his hand, I knew I wasn't gonna get high enough. I knew I had to do it. So he said he just brought I was like, oh, that.
He was believing, watching the Michael Jordan videos, man. There we go.
He was. So Mike, you see this, that's what I have been doing, watching you, baby.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, listen, guys, man, we're gonna jump. We took a little extra time with you guys today just to have this conversation, but man, we're gonna jump and move to the next segment. Oh, you guys do not want to miss Russell's. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Russell Simmons, Rakim. Yep. Come on, who else?
He had some names up there, but those stood out to me because I love Rakim.
Yeah. Like, listen, there's some names.
Krs-One.
Yeah, Krs-One. Like, yo, guys, this dude, Michael Jackson estate. We're just throwing some names out there, right, to get you guys, psyched up for this episode. But listen, we're going to be take a quick break, and we're going to jump right into our guests. So, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys in a sec.
You've been listening to the Success Journey Show. You can check us out on our social media on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Also on our website, thesuccessjourneyshow.com. Enjoy the rest of the show.
All right, travelers. We're back again. And like, this is our favorite segment of the show. Like we say every single week. Why? Because Marlon and I get a chance to talk to another individual about their journey, about their road to success, about their achievements, their failures, their lessons learned, the networks that they've created, all those things that make up someone, characteristics of someone that's on a journey to be their full potential, achieve their full potential, and make an impact in this world. So today we have none other than Courtney Benjamin with us, man. Courtney, thank you so much for joining us today.
All right, no problem at all, man. Appreciate you.
Man. Man, we're honored to have you, man. So I'll tell you guys, you know, Marlon and I, we told you that we were in Atlanta a few months back, and we were shooting some shows down there. And as I was heading back, you know, I saw Courtney. We were both in a lot, and I saw Courtney going from one car to the next, and I was like, "Man, what's this guy doing?" And he stopped. No, he stopped me. No, he had a shirt on, and I'm trying to remember how. I said, "Oh, I love that shirt because it has something to do with music, right? His brand and everything." And I was like, "Oh, that's fire, man. I like it." And then I was like, we start talking real quick, and he started telling me a little bit. I said, "Yo, man, we got to get you on this show to talk about, you know, what you do." And really selfishly, because I didn't have enough time to talk to him right then, and I want to continue on the conversation. So, Courtney, man, thank you so much for joining us, man. Why don't you start off by just sharing with our travelers a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, all right. Like you said, I'm Courtney Benjamin. I'm an artist manager, music publisher. I've been in the entertainment industry and music industry for about almost this is going on 13 years now, full time. So just thank God for that, man, because that start was rough. You understand me?
I feel you.
You know, so I mean, it was just a lot of you know, a lot of bad decisions. You know, you know. Just
you went
to
back.
be honest,
You went back on that one. You said bad decision. It looked like you looked at that one decision and said, "Why did I do that?"
What was I thinking? Yes, sir.
No, love it, man. Now, Courtney, man, when you say you're in music industry manager, did you have any background in music yourself? Were you in a place where you were trying to record, or you were trying to get your own stuff out? Were you a musician? Or you were just interested in music and it's like, oh man, this is a space I'd love to like grow in?
Well, I say from like age 16 to about maybe 19, I was the sixth member of Bone Thugs and Harmony, man. So you know what I mean. Man, I was you know, I was just engulfed in amazing how they flow, and I was trying to perfect that craft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what sparked me into music. You know, and then I took a break, and I was like, you know, rapping ain't for me. I'm not a rapper. You know what I mean? So, and then I ended up getting married at 22. And my wife was on tour doing stage plays and different things like that. And someone asked her why she didn't have a CD out, and she was singing in the plays and everything. And she said she didn't know. So she came back home off of one tour and told me, she was like, you know, I want to sing. And that's what sparked the music in me again. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get behind her. Let's do this. You know, I had no idea about the business side though. You know, I was getting man, I was getting so mad, man, with all the no's and this and that, man. So I just started honestly just reading books. And I was like, I gotta learn this business side. What am I doing wrong? You know, why is all these doors closing? You know, why are we getting evicted off of one song, trying to put one song on? You know, so like I was saying, like bad decisions, you know, not knowing how to manage my money, not knowing how to manage my time. And I was also working the 9 to 5 at that time as well, and was not making that much money at all. So
wow.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation.
Isn't it crazy in the music? What's funny is that in the music industry, and I never heard your wife sing, but I could sense she's talented. If somebody says, why don't you have a CD out, and especially if you're in plays, that's a real singer. They don't put fake singers in plays. Because you got to perform live every night.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
So
definitely.
So you have a talented person, and you're like, oh, this is easy work. I put a song together, we put it out, everybody's gonna love it. But then you hear, and I'm not gonna call no names, you hear somebody over on the other side, they got audio tune, they doubled up, tripled up their daggone vocals. They probably had somebody come in to sing the little part they couldn't sing, and that person is selling and going off. What is that? What is that sauce that you've learned that says, okay, this is what I need to do? Those trial and error things that you've gone through.
Man, the sauce is the business. Because like once you learn that business, man, it don't matter how you sound. Because the music industry is 90% business, 10% talent, as you can tell on the radio every day. You know, it's all kind of people on there, man, and you be like, dang, why is this playing? Why is this popping? You know, and then you gotta, it's and like when you first get in it, you think it's a money issue, but it's really not a money issue. It's a strategy issue. You know, the strategies that you come up with, like you have to go after these things like radio and television. They're just advertisement agencies. So, you know, if the song is popping, of course they're gonna play it, because for one, it's drawing more listeners to their station, and then at the same time, they're getting their sponsors are getting the ears are being put on their sponsors and stuff. So, you know, that's more money for the radio station. So it just makes sense. So if you just do a strategy and just be like, okay, well, I'm gonna put ads on the radio station, and then I'm gonna buy these 60-second ads, let the artist come on there. Hey, I'm such and such. This is my new single. Let that mug play for the rest of the remaining of the seconds. And now you got some ears on your music, on your target audience. So now there's a strategy that only costs you maybe about $500 to $1,000, maybe. You know, depending on what time of day you want it played.
Yeah.
And when those people hear that song and they keep on coming back to that song, you know, they keep calling and be like, hey, what was that song? And then they go back and look on their format, and it was like, oh, that was a commercial. We got to add this. So there you go. Boom. Now you just got put in rotation. Now you're getting publishing checks. Now you're getting performance royalties, all that stuff. So.
Wow, dude. I mean, that was probably like $1,000 consultant or more consultant fee question answer right there, man. I was like, you got people getting ready to find how to get their ads on the local radio, their ads on a local radio station right now, man.
Yes, sir.
No, dude, that's crazy. Like, so when you said, hey, man, I had to learn the business, you know, let me start reading. I mean, are there books about, hey, how to make it into the music industry? You know, this country music versus R&B versus hip hop versus pop. Like, how did you approach the learning of the business in terms of what material you would pick up to try to learn from and absorb?
Yeah, I went the foundational route, because I was like, if I learn the foundation of like how to run a business, I would be fine, and that would get me through. So I started off with traction. That's a good book to show you how to delegate and how to gain systems, ecosystem in your business. So and then I started reading Donald Passman's book, All You Need to Know About the Music Industry. And I still read that book to this day. And every time I reread it, it's something new.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, all right, got you. I understand this part now, but now it's something new. So it's always different levels to this whole situation.
Wow. No, I love it. Travelers, man, I hope you guys caught that, right? He said, I'm going to learn the foundational stuff, because, you know, a lot of people would jump into, you know, let me go into the philosophy of music theory and see how music theory ties into the performance of this. And then let me go get a master class on this and that. Like, nah, dude, it's understand the fundamental. You want to run a business, understand the fundamental elements of a business, right? Because like you said, man, there's so many people have talent, but they don't have the structure around the talent. And then the frustration that comes with that, right? Because I could imagine, even as you were learning those things and learning the business as you was going along, there probably was some frustrations along the way, right? You try to apply different things. Well, why don't you share with our travelers maybe an example of, you know, maybe I didn't apply this principle right from what I learned in one of the books, or I did apply it right, and this is what I gained from it.
Oh yeah, man, that you hit it right on right on the head right there, man. It's like I'm one of those people that when I learn something, I go and attack it. I gotta execute it. But I learned that's not the way you do it, because you mess around and get yourself in a whole situation. So like what I was doing, I was moving too fast as I was learning. So like I'll give you a situation where I got the business down. I was like, okay, all right, bet. I'm gonna get this funding. I'm gonna get all of this done, that done. But guess what though? I had no knowledge of how to manage my finances. So you get all this money in your hands and it just disappears. You know what I'm saying? You don't tell it where to go, it's just gonna run away from
you. Yeah.
Yep.
Dude.
Man, so that's another aspect of, because Rick and I look, you see, and not just entertainers, you see NBA players, NFL players, all our people, they're getting all this funding in their hand, and then because they don't understand the business side of it, Kevin Garnett said his guy robbed him of $70 million.
Man.
So he's, first of all, the two things that's coming to me is, first of all, you robbed me 1 cent, I know, right? So that means he's making a whole lot that he didn't notice that 70 million was missing, or the guy's doing it very discreetly. And the second thing is that over time, he didn't say, okay, this guy's doing my business. I need to learn how to manage my business so I can have the checks on balances on this guy. So what would be, and I know just say learn the business, but what advice, who did you lock in with? I know you read, but did you lock in with somebody to say, hey, what's the path? Am I doing it right? What I need to do? Trial and error. What did you have to do to take in all that information?
What I did was I reached out to Russell Simmons, and he actually came back, and met with me, man. I was like, I was very surprised.
Wow.
And then he told me something that like really changed my life. He was like, when you're in business, the best advice I can give you, because I kept on asking, I was like, okay, so what do I need to do? This and that, blah, blah, blah. He was like, the best advice I can give you is know when to leave a business. So I was like, okay, all right, okay, got you. So I gotta know when it's time to fold this thing up, and if it's not working, don't try to force it, because I was always trying to force different things, and that's just not the way to go. But like, far as the money path, I really tapped into this profit first method, and that really showed me how to tell my money where to go.
Speak on that.
Like, I'm sorry.
I said expound on that. I like that.
Okay. Yeah. Profit first is like, okay, we get all this money coming in, but we don't never pay ourselves first. We always go and just splurge the money. And I teach artists all the time. I'm like, when that $10,000 check come in for your show, you really didn't make $10,000. So like with the profit first method, what I've learned, I have 5 different business bank accounts, right? So as soon as that 10,000 come in, I'm putting 3,300, or now it's even less than that. But I put like 15% into a tax account. Then I put like 5% into like my profit account. So now my company is profitable. So I'm making some money on that, and then I put another percentage into my expense account, and then I put another portion into profit. Oh, and then my income. So the income account.
Yep.
Then I transfer it to the tax account. Then I transfer the money to the expense account, and then I take the remaining of the money. What is that account I put it in?
It's an operation expense.
Was it tax? Tax.
Your operations is including salary.
Owner compensation. There it is. That's it right there. My owner compensation, and that's what I pay myself. That's what I pay myself payroll out of. So you know what I'm saying. So it's like, okay, I'm telling my money where to go, and my business is constantly growing. The income is constantly growing because I'm leaving a big pot into the tax account. So when it's time to pay my taxes, it's no problem. I'm already pushing that out first. And one thing I learned too, when I got my first tax audit was you don't pay your tithes out of your business account. I was paying my tithes out of my business account. They said, okay, all right, we don't care. So man, they still got it. So I found out you pay yourself, then you pay your tithes off of what you pay yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that was the thing I learned, man. And yeah, it just telling my money where to go is really like changed my life and also my wife's life. You know what I'm saying? Because like even with every one of our businesses, we apply that method and tell our money where to go. Because if you don't tell your money where to go, it will disappear on you.
Yeah.
And then you be wondering when the IRS come knocking, you be like, they be like, hey man, you owe about $25,000. Oh, no problem. Here you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, I this the information you're sharing is like, so for people, I don't want you guys to overlook, information he's sharing has such a fundamental element to it that he has learned that structure, that foundational stuff, and it has the talent was already there. Like the talent in his wife, she's already there, ready, right? She's ready for this. She may have worked on some things here and there, but her growth is nowhere near the growth that needed to happen on the business side to really take her where she needed to go, or any other endeavors that you're working on, Courtney's working on now, right? So it's like those opportunities there, things are there, but Courtney wasn't ready there. So he was like, hey, I need to grow. I need to learn these fundamental things about finances. Where do I put my money? Because most people, man, like you said, I made $10,000 on this gig. I made $10,000. Like, no, you didn't make $10,000, right? I hear people be like, oh yeah, I have a 6-figure business. I'm like, dude, you don't have, but you don't have 6 figures, man. That's a totally different conversation, right? But people need to understand that, right? But what you said in that fundamental part, tell your money where to go, right? And you start being disciplined in that, telling where your money where to go. And he said another thing too, the tithe. He put the tithe thing in there. We haven't even gone deep on that aspect on this show, but just the principle that's tied to that aspect of setting aside and giving, right? Giving back, right? And what that does for discipline, one, and then also tapping into the blessing that's attached to that, right? For yourself and for others. So guys, like Courtney, man, I really appreciate what you're sharing here. And could you talk about, like, as you started to get these foundational things, you're starting to grow, and you mentioned something. Yeah, my wife and I, other businesses that we have, we apply the same thing. Where has, this fundamental and this dedication to learning, where has it grown you to so that you can expand yourself across other different opportunities?
Yeah, it's expanded into publishing. We got the publishing company, the management company. We have salons. It's turned into an educational platform. I have Academy. The Turo. We got 10 cars.
Talk about that. Yeah, we got to talk about that. Yeah.
Yep. 10 cars with that, and getting ready to dabble into get me some doors under my belt. Working with a couple cats. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to make sure I do it right. I don't want to go into this thing blind. So you always got to get a mentor, man. But the thing is, like, knowledge is power. But you can get, man, you can put yourself into a system of error that you think is right, and you just doing everything wrong, man. And then you stuck in this situation, and it's gonna take forever to get out of. I just put it like that.
Yes, sir. I like the fact that, and I see that, because this is my thinking, right? I see a guy, and I'm not gonna name no names. I see a guy in MBA, and they say, I make 100 million over the span of 3 years. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why isn't that person money growing? Because in my head, I know if I get 100 million, these are the business. Just like you said, I'm gonna tell my money where to go, and I already know the certain spots I'm gonna go because they're gonna give me a return that I need, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, why don't these guys do it? What's going on? When you're going in those spaces, right? Because when you're going in the music space, somebody's just saying, okay, hey, that's B, or if they call you C, or I don't know what they call you, right? They might say, hey, that's Courtney right there. Hey, he's this, but they don't understand all that you do, right? What are the conversations that they're having that's not propelling these people to say, hey, I need to invest, I need to invest, I need to invest? When you're in those rooms, what are usually the conversations that these artists are having, that these celebrities are having, that people that are around you are having, that they're not talking about investments?
So you're saying what are they talking about that's making
what
them
are they
invest?
talking about other than investments?
Oh, other than investments, shoot, man, getting those back royalties, getting out of different contracts, bad contracts that they got themselves into, and that's where I've been coming in to help a lot of like the legends, man, like getting a lot of their back royalties, man, because like it's I think up to like 60. It's up to 61% right now in unclaimed royalties, and it just keeps going up. So it's like somebody's not telling somebody something, because it's not like the royalty game. The back royalties and unclaimed royalties are getting, they're going down. So it's like it's just more and more getting out there, and that those are conversations that we have. And different show ideas, man. Trying to figure out how to stay on the road, because like a lot of these artists, man, you would think they popping, but a lot of them really are struggling. A lot of them are really struggling financially, mentally. It's a lot goes on behind the scenes. And it's a lot of wear and tear on you too, to be in this industry, man. It's like you have to be like almost like a left wing, man, type of person. Got to be a little throwed off, man, to be in the music industry, because
it's stressful, man.
A lot
and you have to, regardless of what level you play in the industry, you have to be on, right? You have to be on, like, because you being on translates into how it communicates to your fan base, how it communicates, especially if you're on the road and things of that nature. There can't be anyone that's a part of the team that falls. It's like every person has a part to play in making sure that this show is on. So I hear you with the mental toughness, the mental health, just trying to make it when you're struggling. And I think one thing I hear about what you're, from the perspective that you're bringing in that strategy aspect, right now, you're being able to take off some of the weight, if not a lot of the weight, from artists and people, allowing them to focus on their gifts and what they do. But let me help you handle the things that you don't even understand, don't know about, can't really have time to dedicate to it, can't learn and everything, or have the capacity in terms of time to learn some of these things. And you're there to kind of fill those gaps for them, man. And I would have never known, like, you hear of managers, but you just hear, man, for a lay person like myself, you only hear of managers of like, oh, I'm booking you this many gigs, over this time frame, and make sure you're there, and make sure you give the wardrobe people, make sure you show up on time, but I don't really, this is the first time I'm hearing from your perspective of like really understanding the business from a holistic point of view of how you're strategizing to get out. So, man, kudos to you, man, for, just the space that you're in, and how you have been growing. I would love to talk to you about, taking the leaps onto these different ventures, and we're hearing you at the start of the new one here. You're talking about getting the real estate game and all that kind of stuff. But even like the Toro, the beauty salons, like, talk about the Toro's close to my heart because that's where I met you at that spot over there. But talk to me about that, man. You in like 2 seconds you dropped strategy to me in like 2 seconds on Toro. You know, it's like talk to us how you got into it, like what that level of risk that you took. You know, you shared with me some reconstruction that you did as you were going through it and all that kind of stuff. Talk to our listeners about that, man. It's a great lesson.
Okay. All right. Yeah. With Toro, I was like, okay, all right. I'm seeing the situation come up, you know. I'm like, okay, all right. These cars doing their thing, man. Then I heard Rick Ross talk about how he rent his house out and how all of his cars that's on in his driveway, he said they all making money. And I was like, okay, all right, let me see what this is about. And then so I jumped into it without having a mentor at first. And then I started hearing little things, you know, from CEO Matty J, and he put me up on game. And so like I'll take it back a little bit. Before I met Matty, before I got with Matty J, I jumped into it, got all these cars, got it in my personal name. Wasn't thinking that it's gonna hit all of my debt to income ratio.
Yes, sir.
So I'm like, oh man. Because all I heard was him say something online where he said, there's a strategy in the play that you could do with this. It takes 30 days for the cars to report on your credit report, right? So I was like, okay, bet. Let me go ahead and get all the cars. Like I said, I get the knowledge and I execute quick. So I jumped in it too quick. So what that did was mess my debt to income ratio up, drop my credit score tremendously.
Yes, sir.
I had to do the play, talk to Matty J, and he was telling me, he was like, no, man, you gotta put them in your business name. I was, oh. And I started the business. I had the business already started.
Yeah, you could have done it, yeah.
Because I was thinking, I was like, okay, when I start this label, I'm gonna have a transportation company. So if we go on tour or something, we could have our own sprinters and all of that stuff, man, rented from, and all the money just still flowing back.
Flowing back to you, yep.
Yeah. So the same thing with Turo, but I didn't know to put the cars in the company name at that time. I was just on go mode. So yeah, that's one thing. If y'all don't take anything out of doing Turo, do not put them cars in your personal name. You know what I mean?
Love that. Yeah.
And also study and learn when the peak seasons and when the drop seasons. So you save your money up. If you don't do the profit first method, you're gonna be stuck in a situation where you got 2 months where you dry and you got all these cars. So now you have to pay a car note.
Yeah.
You know, you still got to pay the insurance because that's not gonna stop, even though the customers stop.
Right.
So you gotta have that little piggy bank saved up, man.
Yeah. Wow.
And attack them 2 months. It's 2 months. Normally it's August and September down here when school started around, you know, the rental cars thing go down a little bit. But other than that, man, that's just, you have to prepare. You got to prepare.
Yeah. And when you say down here, what are you talking about in Atlanta, right?
Atlanta, yes, sir.
Atlanta. So you're based in Atlanta, correct?
Yes, I'm based in Atlanta and have I have an office in Southfield, Michigan as well.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Chicago, and then I grew up in Pontiac, Michigan.
Okay. Yeah. I know the area well. Yeah, man. That is what's good, and I like what Ricky did right there. And I know I love the nuggets that you dropped in terms of putting. A lot of people don't understand that, and the reason why he's saying to put the car in your business name. People are like, so what business name? You might have to be a guarantor, but it does not show up on your credit report. It will show up underneath the business credit report. And then once the business start building that credit, because you have what they call Dun & Bradstreet, and then Dun & Bradstreet will report is just the same thing as the Equifax TransUnion. They'll report it, and then once they report it, your business can eventually take on that debt by itself. But that guarantor, that money never goes back to your credit report. Hence, it doesn't hurt your debt to income ratio. It'll show the flag that you actually got your credit checked, but it never show up on your credit report. So people just that is one of the best nuggets when it comes to Toro, because go buy a whole bunch of cars, and then next thing you know, and remember that the reason why that's going to affect your credit score is because that's a depreciating asset.
Mm-hmm.
So your credit report is going to take a hit because that is a depreciating asset. Over time, that car is not going to go, unless it's an antique, right? But over time, it's not going to go up. So, so when you have all these cars, you're in Toro. Now, what do you do? Because and I'll just lead you into this. Do you say, okay, I'm going to all park them by my house and I'm just going to rent them out from my house? Or what's the strategy?
Man, hey man, at first I was about to do that, but then I was like, I don't want nobody come to my house, man, picking no ride up, man. So what I did was I just partnered with an airport parking lot, man, and they treat me like, you know, like royalty, man. You know, it's some other tour hosts there as well, man. And all I do is I leave the cars there, and I'll get them clean. The person that does all the washing and stuff, they come right to the lot. Boom. You know, it's just all about collaborating with people. You know what I'm saying? It's like how I learned in the traction book. You know, it's all back to that foundational thing, man. Yeah. You know, you put the right people in the right seats, and then your business can operate. Cause like Ricky said, shoot, man, I was just coming off the airplane. I just got through speaking in I think it was Houston that day.
Yeah, you were you were in Texas.
And
yeah.
Man, I had all of my cars out, and then 2 of them came back. So I was like, okay, let me stop by here before I go home. So I stopped by there to check on them, you know, make sure they was good. And they cleaned them up real good, you know, just double check, go behind them, make sure everything's good. And it was on from there, you know, and that's what you do. You just put the right people in the right seats. That parking lot, you know, I get a discount, a big discount. I pay a monthly fee. All of my cars can go in and out of there many times as you want to, you know. So it's just all about creating systems, man. Systems and collaborating with people, man. Let people do what they good at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, for some of our listeners, man, they are completely overwhelmed right now because they said, man, you know, he's in the music business. You know, he has all these different businesses that he started out, the salon, and you know, I hope he doesn't practice on himself for the salon. You know, but no, you got the Toro. You got this, you got that. Like, talk about the training platforms, all that stuff. Talk about the commitment to the grind. Like, talk about, based off of, you are around excellence, you know, especially in this industry, talking to people that are pioneers in this industry, right?
Simmons,
that we see, you know, like you know,
that's Russell Ron DMC.
Yeah, exactly. You know, pioneers in this joint. You know, talk about the grind, man. Talk about what it takes to really, you know, achieve your dream. Like we have this, and Marlon has a shirt on there, with 4 Ds: dream, drive, discipline, and diligence. And we say, you know, you apply those 4 aspects or those character traits to anything, man, you will start seeing fruits from your labor, right? But give them a sample of what it really takes to be operating at that high level, that high skill, and the sleep that you may have to give up, or the traveling. Like you said, you came straight from the train, jumped right to the parking lot to see, oh, let's check on my joint before you went home, right? And then you were right back out again, you know? So talk about, you know, what that looks like, and, you know, paint the picture a little bit for our travelers.
Okay. All right. And I'll go back even further too. Like when I was working the 9 to 5, man, I had to, man, I remember one time we went to Dubai and I had to come right into the plant because I was working at General Motors. And when I tell you I was tired, oh man, and the line don't stop, and you know, until it's ready to stop. So I'm sitting up here trying to figure out what I'm gonna do, this and that, man. And you know, it takes that, you know, sometimes we want to leave a job and quit just to say that we leaving a job and we got a business. That's not the way to go, man. Because you have an employee mindset going into a business world, man, and you thinking all this glitz and glamour, like, hey, I gotta get an office, I gotta get a desk, I gotta get all this stuff you don't need, man. You know what I mean? But it seems, it looks good, you know, but it costs you though, you know. you know, and it's just what drives me is my vision. Is my vision keeps me disciplined, and my goals keep me structured. So I just take my vision of, okay, my vision is to empower indie artists, and that's open doors to major artists, to independent artists, to the ones that listen. Some don't,
Yeah.
you know, everybody think they know everything, you know. But it's just like a, man, it's like when I want to sleep, I feel like, man, I'm gonna miss out on something, or I'm not, or I'm not going to I'm gonna look lazy, like I didn't finish, you know, what I'm supposed to, you know what I'm saying? So it's cost me a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
It's cost me a lot of time, and it's cost me a lot of getting in God's face, man, and getting that balance back together, because your first business is your family. And if your family is not good, and if your family is struggling and falling apart, all the rest of that stuff don't even matter. You know what I mean? So I was going too fast, you know, and leaving my children behind. We got 3 kids, and it's me and my wife. You know, she had to tap me on the shoulder and be like, hey, date night, what's happening? You know, you out here doing all this and that. So gotta commit to that date night. And you know, and it helps to communicate. You know, if you're one thing I'm finding out is both of us are entrepreneurs. So if you're a married couple and both of you are entrepreneurs, you have to make that time for each other. You have to make time for your family. Because like I said, all the other stuff, it does not matter at all. It don't matter.
Yeah.
So,
man, dude, Courtney, man, this is some good stuff, man. I really appreciate your just dropping this knowledge and these jewels on our travelers. You have a heart of teaching, and you teach this to people that want to get into the industry, whether you're coaching them in particular as their artists, or you are teaching them to do what you do. Can you share with our listeners where they can connect with you, what kind of opportunities there are, the desire that you have to share this information with them, where they can connect with you on all that kind of stuff?
They can connect with me on my website at CourtneyBenjamin.com, and I'm Courtney Benjamin Music on all the platforms, except for Twitter. Twitter, I'm C Benjamin 1.
Yeah, Twitter makes everyone change up stuff.
They know.
You know that. No, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. When you're looking at what's coming up next for you, you know, what are some of your aspirations? What are some of your short-term goals that you're trying to achieve that you want to put out there? I know you probably have a vision board, a whole bunch of stuff, but some things that you're trying to put out there right now.
Some things I'm putting out there right now is focusing on some hungry artists, doing joint venture deals with them, and pretty much showing them step by step how to do everything. We doing Zooms. We doing the 11 weeks out for their release date instead of them uploading the song and then think it's gonna be live tomorrow. It take at least about 2 weeks, you know, and then you still got to promote and all this other stuff. So do a little 8 to 11 week run, you know, and I have everything going through their company, so they don't ever have to feel like they're being taken advantage of or anything. You know, we just have our split. We 50-50. You know, I put some money into you, and you got to put some money into yourself too. You know, and I'm gonna get my money back. You know, we're gonna recoup.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
get that return.
So, got to get that return. You know what I'm saying? Because some of these artists, man, they get up there, get you all geeked and hyped up, man, and then decide they want to retire after the unit spent all this money on them, man. Nah, that ain't happening, man.
Can you let them know? A lot of times you have the young artists and they're like, "Oh, I only want to work with this person because they've done it before." Just like you said, the mentorship. I don't know if you want to, or if you can share with some of the artists that you have worked with, so they know that, hey, man, Courtney ain't no joke.
Yeah. Sure. I work with Beth. She was on season 16 of The Voice. I've been managing her since about like 2017. LG, Dodie, Krs-One, Rakim. I helped out Michael Jackson's estate. Let me see who else I work with. Because like some of them I got to be careful because they had me on NDA.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's what I said. I understand that business.
Yeah,
you slip up, your money will be funny.
Yes, sir, huh? Come knocking on my door like, hey man, I heard yeah, you know what I'm saying? You was talking all that stuff on the thing, man. I told you keep it on the low,
Dude, man.
Rakim, boy. Ooh.
Yeah, man, Rakim, man, cool brother, man.
That. You know what's funny? And people are listening, right? And they're like, how did you help out Rakim, right? But check this out. Nori has drink champs, as you know.
Yeah.
And I think it was last year or the top of this year that Krs-One was on. And when Krs-One was on, he was explaining to him how he can get his royalties. And that's Nori that's been in the business since like probably the 90s.
90s. Mm-hmm.
And Krs-One was explaining to Nori how he can recoup the royalties from his music that he put out from the 90s.
Yep.
So, and you know, Nori is a big name. Jay-Z, he's sponsored by Jay-Z, Diddy, and Nas.
Yep.
Yeah. So when a lot of people are hearing this and they're not understanding that the business side, just like you're talking about, a lot of people have not invested. No, I'm not disrespecting them, but I'm just saying what is fact is that a lot of people have not invested in that business side because they have all this talent and they don't understand that that business side has to be concrete in order to flourish later on in life, because you're not going to perform forever, or you can perform forever, but your records are not going to be selling forever. Or how are you going to recoup that money when that record is selling?
Yeah. So and then at the same time, them royalties never stop. So it's like, you know, shoot, man, the music gonna outlive every artist.
Yeah.
So all that structure and stuff has to be set up, and like you said, you know, they're so blinded by the talent that they got all these checks coming in and stuff. They're not worrying about the little pennies and things that's adding up to millions now. You know, so because over the years, man, and shoot, man, it's been some cats that I work with that's toured for 20 years and never knew that you could get performance royalties off of every show that you do. So they missed 20 years of royalties that's just sitting in a pot to just go to a black hole account.
Wow. Just sitting there.
It's a lot. It's a lot to it, you know.
Man, you Courtney, and this just popped up to my mind because and I don't know if you were in the industry at this shift or after, but I know you definitely deal with it today. The shift from selling platinum and going platinum versus streaming now, like that technology, that birth of the technology where, you know, I remember it was when people were ripping music off of online. What was that platform?
Napster.
Napster, yeah, Napster.
Yes, Napster and LimeWire.
Yeah, you know.
LimeWire too.
Yep. And transitioning now to where, you know, that's where it is, you know, on a streaming platform and things of that nature. Can you share a little bit about like what that difference is for people? Because I don't know anyone really has a good understanding of how that shifted for the artists and how they capitalize now on the streaming platforms.
Yeah, the streaming platforms have, and actually that whole digital world has really dumbed down the album, you know, because like at first, you know, you can just go and get the whole album. Now these cats can just get one song. Yeah. So you gotta be strategic. Make them singles higher so they buy the whole album. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's another way. So any of you artists is listening, there you go. But yeah, that digital world, man, it really took a toll, and then they paid pennies, man, to these songwriters. And I'm working with NMPA, and that's the National Music Publishing Association. Yeah. And we've been going with the Department of Justice, going after the streaming services and like Peloton and all these different people, like, they use our music on bikes and different things for their businesses.
Yeah.
I've been going after them because, like, they just think they could just use your music and not even pay you. That's a whole license. That's my copyright. That's kind of like the benefit of me knowing music publishing as a manager, is because I know where your money is supposed to come from, where it's supposed to go. Who you supposed to go after. And man, that's all I do is sit with my attorneys, and we have lawsuits almost every day from people using samples, different things like that. Man, you got to get permission. You can't just use somebody's music. Just think about it as somebody coming in your house. I look at all of my songs in our catalog as little houses. So that was my play to switch into the real estate. So like each one of them songs is my houses, man. So like you wouldn't let nobody just come in your house and just kick their feet up on your chair, not ring the doorbell, just come right in and do whatever they want to in your house.
No.
Same way with your copyrights.
Wow.
And you're noticing that hip hop. Think about this. You see a hockey commercial. It's hip hop, hockey. They're hitting the sticks, and you see they're playing Lil Wayne or something. You know what I'm saying? So hip hop is at a place right now where, just like you said, people are just using it. People are just using it. I've listened to some artists. He was saying that he wrote the jingle for McDonald's.
McDonald's, yep, and the Arby's. That was Pusha T.
Pusha T.
Yeah.
And people didn't know that, and he's collecting buku dollars from Arby's and McDonald's. He wrote the jingles, and people don't know, and they don't know that how to structure their business. I'm just so happy that they're telling people how the business side works. I understand you're talented. I know you can freaking do the moonwalk. You can sing at the same time. You can dance at the same time. But if you don't know that when you do a concert, you can collect royalties.
And you could also use your job like they're using you. Because like that's what I did. I stayed at General Motors until I found out who was over the marketing. And once I found out who was over the marketing, they always need music for their commercials. My one placement paid me more off of my 20% cut off of what I was making the whole year at General Motors.
Wow.
So with that national commercial royalties, and then following that, it was Starbucks, and I quit. I left. I was like, yep, that's it. I was like, yep, if God, you ever had a sign, there it is.
Yeah. No, man, dude.
They used to always tease me for studying on my breaks and coming up with all these little crazy formulas that I would write down on pieces of paper and stuff. They used to always tease me about it. I was like, I'm not gonna be here no 33 years. I'm for real. Like, no, you're gonna be here for 33. I was there for 3 years. That was it. That was enough.
I'm done. Oh man, dude.
You treat those 30 years like the last part of the 33.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
now they hit me up talking about some, hey, can you get me in this concert? No.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Like, you remember me from the shift? The third shift, man. It's like a shift.
You got a shift tomorrow, so I can't put
I gave you a chicken nugget at lunch one time, man.
Yeah. That gotta be worth something, you know. Nah, dude, man, I love it. Yo, Courtney, man, it's the thing that resonates with me the most through this, with all the accomplishments that you have, everything that you're doing now. A couple of things that really stand out to me. One, just the honoring of your marriage. That's huge, especially in the music industry and as we see this world today. Two, just the tithing thing, right? Just having that being centered around that, and giving back and understanding what that is. And then three, not what it is, but what it does in that discipline of doing that. And then three, just being disciplined enough to really grasp the fundamental aspects of these different places that you wanted to grow in. Like a lot of people, we try to skip over the fundamental stuff because we want to get to the highlight reel, right? We want to, I want to do that crazy move like Michael Jordan. So I'm going to go out there and practice that crazy move like Michael Jordan, or as dating myself. That's not Michael Jordan. Like, it was more like Steph Curry. Let's say Steph Curry. I want to go just start shooting 3-pointers from super deep, but I can't even do a layup, right? You know, it's all those things that those steps that we're skipping, but in skipping those steps, we're missing out on building ourselves up to the people that we need to be in order so that we can obtain success, see our full potential, make the biggest reach and impact. I know when you started this, I'm going to say you were probably dreaming big, but I don't think you were dreaming as big as where you are right now. Right? I just want to put myself on a limb and say that, like, you're where you are surpassed what you thought you were going to do when you first started this. And I can probably put words in your mouth saying you wouldn't go back and change anyway how it happened, other than, you know, like you said before, not running too fast when you went out there.
Yeah. In your business name, buddy.
Yeah, man, for real.
Man, are there any?
You got one, Rick.
What's that?
Add number 4, or that should have been after the marriage. It should have been being a father. And what fatherhood's all about, because the children that you have there. And fatherhood is understanding that legacy that you want to leave behind so that your family nucleus is good, not for today, tomorrow, but for the long run. So I love that. And being humble, brother. A lot of people, I'm going to tell you, a lot of our people, I don't know if you saw that Kevin Hart portion when he was talking to Pivot, when he was on the Pivot. He said a lot of our people, when we get that financial part correct, we forget who we are, and we can't work with other people. We can't talk with other people. Oh, the Success Journey Show. This ain't Drink Champs. This ain't $1 million worth of game. This is not Joe Budden's podcast. I don't have to be on here, right? But you said you met Rick in the parking lot. You said, "Hey, I'm gonna be on your show," and you honored your word. So stay humble and doing the things that you do. And I'm loving it, bro.
Appreciate it, man. And you had touched on something real key about legacy, and it's a good book that I studied. Waka Flocka gave me called "What Would the Rockefellers Do?" And from then on, man, like I didn't even notice, like, you could pay your children $12,000 a year, tax free, and then set up a trust. And that whole book, that What Would the Rockefellers Do? That's how they surpassed the Vanderpumps and all of them other names. Man, they set their trust up, and they put their life insurance policy in their trust. The whole life policy, man. And like sometimes with certain business moves, what I'll do is I'll just borrow my own money instead of having to pull credit. Now, you know what I mean? So it's not one thing they don't tell you that I was a little pissed about, was like, it takes about 2 to 3 years to build some money up in that thing.
Yes, because you can't put but a certain amount in every year. Yep, I did it for my kids. I did the same thing. I did it for my kids, and I thought I'd be able to dump a whole bunch of money in there. And they're like, "Mr. Madden, slow down. You can only put this much amount per year." I was like, "Oh."
Yeah. Dude, but that
Waka Flocka, a lot of people sleeping on Waka. He figured out something, and that brother just said, "Hey." He'll do what that EDMA or whatever that kind of music was. When everybody was like, "What the heck is he doing?" He made money off of that, and then he started talking about the real things that you're talking about, how the Rockefellers made money, infinity banking. That's what we were talking about. Yeah. So yeah, man.
Yeah. He literally was the first person that got me thinking about transportation. Because he was telling me, he was like, "Bro, I got ambulances and trucks and all kind of stuff." I was like, "What?" And then that's when I went on go mode to Turo before I met Maddie J. I was like, man. I was like, okay. I was like, man, yep, because that's all he preached, man. Even when I see him now, he always, "Hey, man, business credit." He all about his business, man. He was definitely about his business.
Definitely. Love it. Well, hey, listen, we're coming to the end of the show. Courtney, man, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. I'm so glad that we ran into each other at that time, and I know it won't be the last time that we see each other in person. We definitely have to set something up if you're in the area when I'm down there in Atlanta or whatever it may be, just in the future. Appreciate you.
Definitely.
Yeah. Appreciate you jumping in and sharing. You so many nuggets, guys. I need you guys to go back and just listen to this podcast again. Take out your pencil, pen, and more importantly, go to the website. Repeat the website one more time, Courtney, for
CourtneyBenjamin.com.
There we go. Can't be any easier than that. Yep. Any easier than that. So guys, man, we come to the end of another. You got something else, Marlon?
No, I'll say Courtney Benjamin music on all your.
Social media.
All the social media. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got it. So guys, man, thank you again for tuning in for another episode of the Success Journey Show. We'll see you next time at the same place on this show. Everyone have a good one. Peace.
You've been listening to the Success Journey Show, where your dreams, drive, determination, and diligence are the foundation to success. For more information, check out thesuccessjourneyshow.com. The Journey Squad is here helping you to your destination.